Amen. Seems like I've been here before. Amen. It's good to be here at the Star of Bethlehem Church once again. Amen. This is the best Star of Bethlehem Church in this county. Amen. The pastor, the best Star of Bethlehem Baptist Church in Beaches County. Amen. It's good to be here. Good to see so many of you again. Amen. Matthew chapter 14, beginning at verse 22. Chapter 14, beginning in verse 22. Your Bible should read something like this. Immediately that he is Jesus, made the disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side while he dismissed the crowds. And after Jesus had dismissed the crowds, he went up into a mountain by himself to pray. When the evening came, he was there alone. But the boat by this time was a long way from the land, beaten by the waves, for the wind was against them. And in the fourth watch of the night, he came to them walking on the sea. When the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified and said, "It is a ghost." They cried out in fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Don't be afraid. It is I. Do not fear." Peter answered him, "Lord, if it's you, command me to come to you on the water." And Jesus said, "Come." Peter got out of the boat and walked on the water and came to Jesus. When he saw the wind was afraid and beginning to sink, he cried out, "Lord, save me." Jesus immediately reached out his hand and took hold of him, saying to him, "Oh, you of little faith, why did you doubt?" When they got into the boat, the wind ceased. Those in the boat worshiped, saying, "Truly you are the Son of God." Amen. Amen. How to handle the storm. Storms are coming to all of us. Life is filled with storms. Not just meteorological events, but storms of life. Issues, obstacles, circumstances, situations that are too big for us to handle on our own. Storms come in our life for different reasons. There are storms that come from our disobedience. You have in the Bible Jonah, who God told him to go to Nineveh. Jonah decides he wants to go in the other direction. God causes a little storm. They throw Jonah off the boat. A great fish who the Lord had prepared swallows him up. Jonah inside the fish prays to the Lord. One of those prayers we pray in the middle of our mess. Amen. Fish spits him out on the ground. Disobedience. Samson, disobedient. Lord told him what to do, what not to do. He decided, amen, he wanted to get one of them fine Philistine women. I don't know what it was about the women in Philistine, but Samson just had to have them. But it ended up costing him his life because he did not listen to what the Lord had told him to do. you are in a storm because of your disobedience. Sometimes you end up in a storm because God sent you into a storm. There's a prophet by the name of Elijah who God had told to tell Ahab and Jezebel that it was not going to rain until he came back a second time and said so. He went and did that. He told them it was not going to rain, and guess what? It did not rain. Amen. But he still had to stay in the place where it did not rain. Amen. And he had to live through that. There's a prophet by the name of Hosea who God told to go out and marry, amen, a harlot, a prostitute, if you will. Amen. That's a storm. Amen. I don't know. Go marry a harlot. Amen. Go marry a prostitute. And the Lord told him before he got married, she gonna have some outside kids on you too. That's a storm, Nancy. We are familiar with the story of Job, who was picked out to be picked on, just minding his own business, didn't know that there was a meeting going on up in heaven where he was being discussed, and Satan enters into his life and touches, amen, his family, touches his things, and eventually touches his body. They were doing everything they were supposed to do, but God decided to allow them to go through a storm. The text we have, amen, this evening, Jesus is teaching. He is in the wilderness. He is teaching, and a crowd of 5,000 have showed up. Amen. 5,000 men, not counting the women and the children. Jesus finishes, amen, teaching them and asks the disciples, do we have anything to feed them? They say, no, we don't have, amen, anything to feed them. He says, what do you have? They had 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread. Tells them to sit down, and he takes those 2 fish and 5 loaves, and he feeds 5,000. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. He turns, amen, 2 fish and 5 loaves of bread into an all-you-can-eat buffet. He tells them, disciples, y'all go to the other side while I send the crowds away. Jesus then goes up into a mountain to pray. While he's praying, a storm comes. I don't want to move too far past that, because if Jesus goes up to a mountain to pray, amen, that means we all need to take some time to be with God. Amen. Too often, too many of us as believers don't spend enough time with the Lord. We're not praying, we're not reading our word, we're not learning, we're not listening. But you need to take some time out of your day, out of your week, amen, to hear the voice of the Lord so that you can learn God's will, because in prayer you get your burdens lifted, you get your spirits refreshed. Jesus, amen, sends them to the other side of the lake, and he goes up into a mountain to pray. Goes up into a mountain to pray. He's up there praying, amen, and a storm comes to those in the boat on the way to the other side. The question I ask you this evening is, how do you respond when the storm comes your way? How do you respond when trouble beyond your control begins to erupt in your life and in the life of your family? How do you react when the winds of life begin to blow against you? How do you handle it when you're tired to the point of exhaustion and stuff just don't stop? It just keeps on coming, one after another, after another, after another. What do you do when the pressure is on and opposition is strong and cooperation is absent? How do you handle the storms of life when they come against you? Let me help you out this evening. Let me remind you of the first thing you need to understand. Even when you can't feel God, He's there. You need to know that. Even when you can't feel Him, sometimes you get away from Him, amen, but He's still standing right there. It's just like the footprints in the sand. There's a story about a man who had a dream about the life on the beach, and he had two sets of footprints all throughout his life. But when he got to the end, he looked back and said, there were times where I only saw one set of footprints, Lord. Those were the hardest times of my life. Why was it that you left me? But the Lord's response was, those were the times where I carried you. Amen. You need to understand that regardless of how long you've been praying, no matter what your situation is, you can be certain that God not only hears your prayers, but He will respond. He will show up when you need Him the most. If you don't believe me, ask the Hebrew boys in the fiery furnace. Ask Moses standing at the brink of the Red Sea. Ask Gideon fighting the Midianites. Ask the woman with the issue of blood. Ask Daniel in the lion's den. Ask them standing at the wall of Jericho. God will show up in your life when you need Him the most. Understand that God can find you even in the darkest moments. But also you need to understand that God is greater than your problem. Amen. You can have some people you can call, some people who will come to your aid, who will come to your rescue, but sometimes the folks you call on, they can't do no more than you do. But God, amen, is greater than your problem. Here it is. The text says they are in the middle of a storm. They don't know what to do. They are fearful for their lives. And Jesus comes walking on the water. They were worried about the water coming down, amen, in the rain and coming from the side of the sea. But the same thing that they're afraid of, Jesus comes walking on top of it. There is nothing that is too hard for my God. I need a witness in the building who can testify there's nothing too hard for God. His power is beyond human understanding. His authority is beyond human comprehension. His ability stretches beyond the human imagination. He's got power. He's got power over nature because He put the colors in the rainbow and the hot in the pepper and the sweet in the sugar. He designs every snowflake. He put the song in the bird's voice. He tells the water where to stop and the land where to start. He's got power over nature. He's got power over man. He can make, amen, bad men good and good men, amen, drunk men sober and lying men honest and proud men humble. He's got power over any situation. There's no battle He can't win, no burden He can't lift, no disease He can't kill, no problem He can't solve, no soul He can't save. Whatever your problem is, our God is greater. Our God is stronger. Our God is higher than any other. Awesome in wisdom, knowledge, and power. Our God. And when you belong to Him, He will move on your behalf.
You're talking right.
Think of it there, you gotta be able to recognize when God is moving them. You gotta be able to recognize when God is moving. It's a storm. They're praying. Jesus comes walking on the water. They think it's a ghost. God answered their prayers, but they become more frightened because they think it's a ghost. And sometimes we fail to recognize God when He's at work in our lives and in our situation. Plain as day, right in front of our face, we don't always connect it back to God and understand that He's really just answering our prayer in a way that we didn't think He was going to do it. Amen. We don't recognize that God at work because some people don't expect God to do anything.
Wow.
Amen. Some of us, we pray and we don't expect God to do anything because we've been bad. We don't expect God to do anything because he didn't do something for somebody else. Sometimes, amen, we don't want God to do anything. We've already got it figured out. God, if you show up, you just gonna mess up my plan. Hey, amen, I already figured out. I called J.G. Wentworth last week. They told me my money, amen, is on the way right now. Hey. But oftentimes, God doesn't move the way we expect him to, and that's why we fail to recognize him at work. Talk about it Sunday, God's way is different from ours. His plan is the best. God says in order to give, you got to give. God says in order, amen, to be exalted, you got to be humble. God says to bless them that curse you. That's a tough one. The problem is, when we don't recognize God at work, we sometimes find ourselves working against God. God is trying to do something in our life, and we're trying to stop God because it's not coming the way we expect it to come. That's the problem with the scribes and the Pharisees. They thought they knew what God was doing. They had read the word. They were expecting a Messiah, but this wasn't the Messiah they were expecting. So instead of working with Jesus, they fought against Jesus. God doesn't always do things the way we expect. God tells us and we work against him, end up messing ourselves up longer. That's what happened with Abraham and Sarah. God told them he was going to bless them with a child. They said, we're going to help God out. Sarah said, take Hagar. Abraham said, hey. Don't mind if I do. But you never ask. They involve Hagar in their relationship. They involve Hagar in their marriage. And they end up with the son, but it's not the son God promised. They end up with Ishmael, and Abraham ends up having to send him away. God did not recognize Ishmael, because when he offered up Isaac, he said, your only son, Isaac, because when you get something that God didn't give it, it ain't yours to begin with. You got to recognize God is at work, but then you don't have to be afraid, even though the storm isn't over yet. Jesus gets close to them. They say it's a ghost. His first words are, don't be afraid. King James, fear not. It's me. The wind hasn't stopped blowing. The waves haven't stopped crashing. Everything is still going on, but Jesus' first words are, don't be afraid. Because you don't have to be afraid when you know that God is with you. Amen. God can give you the peace that passes all understanding. That's what the Bible says. Even before he calls the storm around you, God knows how to calm the storm inside you. And people look at you like you're crazy and trying to understand and trying to figure out why you haven't lost your mind, why you haven't given up, why haven't you quit yet, why haven't you thrown in the towel? All hell is breaking loose in your life. Your marriage is falling apart. They acting crazy on their job. Your kids ain't got no sense. Why are you still praising him? Why are you still working? says, come on. Peter steps out the boat, amen, and he and Jesus walk on the water, amen, because Peter realized that it's safer with Jesus on the water than without him in the boat. One day you're going to realize that you're going to hop up out the boat. You've been trying to stay in that safe place in the boat, amen, and Jesus done told you to come on, amen, but you want to stay in the boat because it's easy, because the boat is comfortable, even though the storm is in the boat. Peter said, no, I'm going to come out, and him and Jesus walk together on the water. But you got to keep your eye on Jesus.
All right.
Keep your eye on Jesus and not your problem. Because the storm is still raging. Amen. Jesus assures them that they don't need to be afraid. Peter has some success in his walk with Jesus. But he takes his focus off of Jesus and he begins to focus on the storm. Amen. And whatever you put your focus on appears the biggest. My hand ain't but about 9 inches by 5 inches. But I can put it in front of my face and it seems bigger than this whole building because I can't see nothing else beyond it. Small as it is, I can't see anything behind it because that's what I'm focused on. You need to understand that your situation may look big, but the God you serve is big. God is bigger than your sickness. God is bigger than your addiction. God is bigger than your relationship problem. God is bigger than your bills. God is bigger than... Peter takes his eyes off of Jesus. The Bible says he began to sink. But he calls on Jesus. Who is it that you call on when you encounter more than you can handle? Who do you call on when the burdens become too heavy to bear? Who do you call on when the situation looks hopeless? When you've done all you can do, gone as far as you can go. Some folks have decided that they were going to call on Brother Hennessy, amen, and Johnny Walker. Some folks have decided they're going to call on Mary Jane. Some folks said, I'll just take a little pill and everything will be all right. Some folks just make an appointment, amen, with the psychiatrist or the psychologist. But I came to tell you that the one you need to call on, his name is Jesus. When everything begins to fall apart in your life, he's the only one that can keep you from going under. Do I have a witness in the building who can testify that we serve God who can keep you from going under? The last thing you need to know is that even in the middle of your doubts, God is there to catch you. No sooner, amen, did Peter cry out, Lord, help me. The Bible says Jesus immediately stretched out his hand and caught him. The Lord was there to help him even in the midst of his doubts. And I need a couple witnesses in the building who can testify how many times has he done the same thing to you. How many times have you been down sick and the Lord, he lifted you back up? How many times have you been down financially and he lifted you back up? How many times have you been down emotionally? Have you been down spiritually and he lifted you back up? How many times have you been downhearted and he lifted you back up? How many times have you been down in the dumps but he lifted you back up? How Storm will come in your life. Storm will come. Jesus said, in this world you will have tribulation. And then he said, be of good cheer. I've already overcome the world. Because you've got Jesus with you. If he sends you through a storm, you ain't got to worry about it. If he brings you to it, he's able to bring you through it. Maybe you caused your own storm. Our favorite verse, 1 John 1 and 9.
Yes, sir.
If you confess your sins, he is faithful and just to forgive you of your sins.
Yes, sir.
Cleanse you of all unrighteousness. He'll clean you better than tide. He'll clean you better than dove. He'll take care of you.